I'm building a 2-trailer tiny house and the cladding's finally underway, so it's time for a build update. Before we get underway with the build, I've got some exciting news to share with you. Fielders, who are one of Australia's leading metal roll form manufacturers, have come on board as a build partner. And I'm really excited because we're going to be using one of their architectural claddings to clad the outside of this house. We're going to be working with Prominence, which is a standing seam cladding part of their Finesse range. So if you're looking for something to make your house stand out, you should absolutely check out that range, and I'll link it down below. Okay, I know it's been a while since the last build update, and that's because I've just been working on some fiddly complicated stuff. I've been working on the roof to the shower, which involves a roof window and a services hatch, and then this beast, the sliding roof, which has just been an adventure all in itself. And this thing is key to making the project work, because if I can't get that sliding roof weatherproof, then this whole 2-trailer tiny house idea just doesn't work. So I think I'm almost there, and I thought it's a great opportunity before continuing with the rest of cladding to have a look at what I've done. Now, when I started filming, I realized that the sliding roof is a video all in itself, so I won't actually touch on this one, and I'm going to do another video very soon where we go into the sliding roof and how I've managed to make that thing work. But we're going to have a look at the start of the cladding, what I've done up there, and why my galvanized trailers are now black. So let's check it out. First of all, the shower roof. So I've got my roof window here and then my services hatch. I really wanted to do a roof window over the shower for 2 reasons. First of all, you can't see the shower from most places in the house. So by putting a roof window here, it's going to flood the bathroom with light, creating this sort of glowing cavity, but you can't see where it's coming from. Secondly, I really like the idea of putting sunlight down into the shower to help dry it out and reduce mold and condensation inside my bathroom. I created the roof window by fixing aluminium tube down onto my frame. I've then stuck down low E glass with VHB tape and then run a silicone seal from the edge of the glass all the way down onto my flashing. Now, I've actually created this top flashing in 2 pieces, where I've run this flashing only to the edge, and then my capping flashing runs in underneath this flashing and then bends up at the back. Now, I've done that so that if I ever need to service this cladding, I can take the capping flashing out without compromising this seal here. I can maintain a seal from this glass down onto my flashing without ever having to touch that. Up the back, I've got my services hatch. So I've created a cavity above the shower where I'm going to house all my ventilation. Now, the reason I've done that is, first of all, my roof cavity is all taken up with that sliding roof that comes back inside this trailer. So I don't really have much space for ventilation. Secondly, because of this standing seam cladding that's going to be wrapping up over the top of my house, and with a low gradient, it's going to be really hard to put cows that can vent out the top of my roof that A, look good, and B, are going to be watertight. So by creating this services hatch, I can put 2 cows on here that will vent my bathroom and my composting toilet. So I've got this one place where I can house all of my fans and controllers, and an easy place to service them if I need to. I've created this hatch by running aluminium tube fixed onto my frames. Then this lid is bent down over the edges. It comes up and is bent up at the back here in behind this head flashing. Then behind all of that is a channel that runs down behind here. So any condensation that comes down my building wrap, or can manage to get back up past the back of this capping here, will run through a channel that comes out here and drops down onto my flashings and over the side of the house. It's easy to remove just by pulling out the 6 screws, slide it forward, and then it bends out. So I'll have 2 cowls on top here. The first will be ventilation for the bathroom. So I really didn't want like a white plastic 250mm fan sitting in my bathroom. So I'm going to have a discreet opening on the top of my shower here that can pull steam directly out of my shower, vent it straight out of the house. Now, the other cowl I'm going to have is over here where I'm going to have my composting toilet. Now, the one thing I'm concerned about is venting my composting toilet next to my shower. It does have backdraft stoppers on it, but what I'm also going to do is to shield one side of the cowl so it's venting away from the shower vent, but also run it through carbon filter so there should be almost no smell. And I'm running the ventilation for the composting toilet up here so that if there's any smell, it's up high away from everyone down below. I've started the cladding on the end of the trailer and the shower bump out because I had to do it in conjunction with the roof that I was working on. I'm going to use capping flashing on the front corner of the shower here because I couldn't work out a way to bend it around and still do a corner detail. And to do the corner detail, I needed the cladding on the side of the shower lapping in the same direction. To do this corner, I've actually taken this sheet and bent it up around the corner and then done a small break that hooks in behind the gap on the standing seam here. I work with an offcut to prototype the corner before I took it to an engineering firm to have it bent up. You can see I've bent the corner and then I've put a break on this edge here. That break is what hooks into the edge on the standing seam cladding and holds it in place. I get a nice neat finish and no exposed edges. I've also started the cladding on the main trailer, and this is key to be able to continue cladding down the side of the main trailer and across the swinging walls. The reason for that is I've actually bent the cladding around the corner of the trailer. It gives it such a nice look, but it was a lot of work to calculate where to put that fold in the pan of the Prominence so that when it folded around the corner and went across the back of the trailer, it was exactly the right width. But it means that all of the cladding has to be referenced from the end of this trailer. Now, because the cladding only laps in one direction, on one side that's easy where I can just continue the cladding along. On the opposite side, I'm gonna have to work back from the other end to work out where to finish my first sheet to lap it back up and meet this join just here. So the other thing you may have noticed is the trailers have changed color. So I made a conscious decision to leave the trailers galvanized. I really liked how it looked when you stood back and saw the two trailers join. All the steel work looked awesome. Problem is, when I started putting the dark cladding on there, it kind of looked like a hunk of gal steel hanging out the bottom. And I had to make a decision because if I was going to paint it, now's the time to do it before I cover the house in cladding and I just can't protect it from overspray. So I committed myself to 2 days of absolute agony where I just got in and smashed it out. And it was galv steel, so I have to prep that properly, which involves sugar soap and Scotch-Brite to clean down the whole thing, wash it with thinners, tape it up, and then get underneath there and spray it. And I had to drag myself around to get under and spray this thing. So I had to etch prime it, then paint it. So I committed 2 days to it. Took me about 3 by the time I had to do some rework. It was a lot of effort, but I think the result is worth it. Now seeing the cladding against it, particularly up the end there, the black trail looks so much better against the cladding. It just took a piece of my soul to do it. So that's the start of the cladding, and it's so good to finally be putting some cladding on the outside of this house. We're at a really exciting part of the build because finally this vision I've had in my head and everything I've been trying to explain to you over the last year is actually starting to take shape, and you can see it in real life. And this is just the beginning. Like, once we get the rest of this house cladded, it's going to look absolutely incredible, and I'm really excited to show you. And the best bit is that will be the exterior completely done. Then we get to move inside and really see this house come to life and see all of these ideas I've been talking about actually start to happen. So I'm really excited for the next phase of the build. The next step is to get a video of that sliding roof done and to move on with the cladding. Now this stuff goes on really well, but I've got some complicated stuff to deal with, particularly when we get to those swinging walls where I need the cladding to continue through seamlessly, but those walls need to open and close properly. So there's going to be some challenges there. I've got heaps of work to do, so you guys know the drill. Don't hate, educate. Comment down below if you see something in this video that can be improved, or if you've got any questions about this cladding, and I'll respond to you if I can. In the meantime, go build cool stuff. I'll see you guys again soon.